Thursday afternoon, I sat on the top of a ridge in the North Carolina mountains on the backside of nowhere at the end of the road. I was visiting the widow of my beloved mentor who died 3 years ago. It's always a deep, rich experience when I visit their home, where I've spent many visits in meditation and reflection. I sat watching nature in her autumn glory. The rain stopped, and finally, leaves could blow freely in a gentle wind. Each leaf found its own air current as it left its tree and slowly found its way to earth, there to begin another cycle of life. And I was reminded of how seasons and changes are much like our own living and dying. Like leaves, our loved ones in their own time are released into the universe. They break away from our embrace and we feel bereft. Our letting go is not so easy, for we are unsure of what will befall their souls and less sure about how we will reshape our lives without their physical presence near us. So, unlike the trees that release without grief, we hold on to those we love with all our might. But like the leaves, there comes a time when our loved ones must leave us and enter a new part of the cycle of life and death, of which we are all a part. When we experience great loss, we come to realize that our lives will never be the same. And this is as it should be, for our loved ones cannot be replaced. Each of our loved ones is unique and precious. And yet, with time, we realize we must return to life without that loved one. Our quest, then, in our own time and pace, is to find a way to return to life. And yes, we know that even when we return to life, our loved ones will always be with us in memories. Recently, I found a quote in a little novel by Alexander McCall Smith called, it's in the book, The Colors of All the Cattle. It reminded me of how our memories continue to live on and are a blessing to all of us. In the book, there's a brief conversation between Ma Ramotswe, the main character, and Dr. Moran, a friend of her late father, late meaning that the person has died. It was as if Dr. Moran had read her mind. "You still miss him," he said, "even now." "Yes," she said, "I do." She could have said so much more. She could have said what she said to all those who lost somebody. Late people are still with us, and they were. They were with us in the things that they had said, which we remembered long after they had gone. They were with us in the love that they had shown us, in which we still could draw around us like a comforting blanket on a cold night. And if the late people had children, in the way they held their heads, in the way they laughed, or in the way they walked, or did any number of things that were passed on deep inside within families. Today we remember our loved ones. Each brings us special memories. So in a spirit of remembrance, I invite you to come forward to take a bulb or bulbs to be planted in a few minutes. When you return to your seat, I invite you to simply sit with your memories. Just as your memories are alive, the bulb you hold is alive. In the spring,